happens out there. Doesn't matter. Keep your swagger.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 5-Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. We are your hosts today, TJ, Alan, Zach. What is going on, boys? How are we feeling tonight?
Well, excited. We're just that much closer. Yahoo open up fantasy hockey again.
Here we go. Oh, that reminds me. I got to see if I can get the ADP data yet. I'll check that bookmark real quick. Zach, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I had a pretty good day.
Yeah, you did. How much are you allowed to talk about?
I'm not really gonna talk about much. At least not right on air.
Well, everybody just know.
You guys know the deal.
Please cross your fingers for our buddy Zach. It's some fun, exciting news, and we all root for the guy. He's a good dude and deserves good things. So cross your fingers. That's what we'll say for now.
But it's something good. It's not like it's I don't have like major surgery coming up or anything like that.
Just
no, it's actually
surgery, yeah.
It's something positive.
Yeah. Getting some reductions done, I've heard. No? All right. We are 5-Hole Fantasy Hockey. You can find us on Twitter at FHF Hockey. We got the Fantasy Hockey Discord. You guys are welcome to join. Hop in the chat. Hop in the mock chats, or the mock drafts, rather. We're going to be going through those all off season. We are going to be kicking into high gear for registration for listener leagues, things like that. I got to do some promotion relegation from last year. We're going to be doing cats leagues this year. So our tiered fantasy hockey league switches from points leagues one year to cats the next, just to find out who the best fantasy hockey player actually is. So you could be the best points player, but we want to see if you can do it all. Last year's champion, Eric, over at Frozen Tools. So come bring your A game and take down the champ, Frozen Tools. Let's get into the divisional preview. We're talking about the Atlantic. Last two episodes, we were covering the Metro. Today, we're talking some exciting teams. Zach, you are a Toronto fan. They are on the docket tonight. Tampa, that's you, Al. Yeah. Boston and Buffalo, that's like nobody in the world. So, but we are going to talk about those guys. And what they have to offer fantasy-wise. So thanks for tuning in and checking it out. We're going to get going. Off-season changes, top targets, secondary targets, power play units, team question marks. We're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff with these teams. Just like doing our best deep dive that we can, trying to keep it around an hour because we're all...
There are some question marks, too.
Yeah, there's some big question marks with these teams. So we'll talk the storylines, breakout candidates, regression candidates, value pick sleepers. We'll talk about the goalies as well. Check us out on socials. Check out 5-Hole, FHFhockey.com, yada, yada, yada. Let's get into it. Tampa Bay Lightning, first off. Last year, they were second in the Atlantic, seventh in the NHL, 47, 27, and 8. Goals for per game, they were first in the league, 3.56. Goals against, they had the fourth best goals against average. Power play was fifth in the NHL. And for off nights this upcoming year, they are tied for 11th, so pretty much bottom of the board. Back-to-backs, they are tied for second most, which is interesting because, Vasilevsky, we'll get into the goalies a little bit later, but he's a volume boy. That's kind of his calling card. Off-season changes for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They brought in Pontus Holmberg, Jacob Pelletier, Boris Kachuk, Scott Sabrin, Sam O'Reilly, and that Isaac Howard trade, Nick Abertsetsi, I think, Simon Lundmark. Got rid of Nick Perbix, Isaac Howard, there he is, Connor Sherry, Logan Brown, Derek Pouliot, Matt Tompkins, Toby Basson, re-signed Yanni Gourde, JoJo, Jonas Johansson, Gage Gonsalves, Jack Finley, Matt Crozier, and Steven Santini. Pretty much bringing like the band back together outside of, I think maybe the big name that's missing there is Nick Perbix. And yeah.
That's what the fan base would tell you no big loss at this point.
You are the fan base, and you said,
I know. Right? I agreed. Like his first season, he looked good, and then it's just kind of been circling the drain.
I thought he was going to kind of be like a Diet Chernak. The bangs were good, and I thought there was going to be a little bit there, but maybe not. long list of top targets for this team, stretching from Kucherov down to Vasilevsky. You got Gensel, Hagel, Point, Hedman, Vazzy, and Kuch. Kuch, the number one right wing off the board. He's going top 5 and pretty much even top 3, right? Like, where have you guys found him in the mocks?
Yeah,
I've mostly been
top 3 to 5.
Yeah, he's looking good. I mostly have been mocking in like the 10 position, but when I get 3, 4, 5, and I can get Kucherov, my teams just feel so much better. Like, I'm really liking the 3 to 5 range this year.
Do you think he's still going to be you think he's going to be the best right winger this year?
Yes. Full stop. Yes.
I mean, who's the competition? Really?
Pasta?
I don't think Pasta has the supporting cast.
Right. You know, Marner's not a bad name to throw in but I don't know.
I think Marner is going to have a huge year next to being in Vegas. Huge.
That'll be a fun one to unpack. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, we're going to get into, after this series, we got our rankings episode, so that's going to be fun. We'll be able to hash it out on that one. Projected power play units for the Tampa Bay Lightning: Gensel's a lock, Point's a lock, Kucherov's a lock, Hedman's a lock. 5th name on the board. Last year, we saw a lot of Mitchell Chaffee. He was kind of like the guy that kind of got tossed in there, right? Like they did some 50-50s units.
They tried a few guys. Like at one point, Radish was there, and they did 2D. There just hasn't been a good replacement for Stamkos on that left dot.
It's got to be Hagel, right? Like, you can't look at what he put together last season and not give him top power play, correct?
And if he does, it's another 90 points, 90 plus point season.
That's just a absolute blowout. So for me, the only question mark on that top power play unit is whether or not Hagel actually gets assigned there. But I think he deserves every ounce of those power play minutes. And God, let him get it. To be able to do all of that at even strength last year, super impressive. Love what Hagel put together. Definitely ate some crow because we were doing a dynasty draft and somebody took Hagel in the 3rd round in a 24, 32 team dynasty draft. I chirped him relentlessly. So human becoming, this is an official apology. Power play 2, probably going to be guys like Chaffee, Cirelli, Geeky, Bjorkstrand, Radish. You know, they're going to be playing 30 seconds out of 2 minutes. So I don't know if we'll get a lot of power play points out of those guys. What do you think?
No, I mean, unless there's injury, I feel like Radish is next man up there. But I still feel like that Hagel isn't cemented. We might see other people there.
OBJ would be fun. Bjorkstrand. I'd love to see.
And they did. I assumed when we traded for him that was not a real Stamkos replacement, but someone who was also a right-handed shot that could be somewhat of a scoring threat
with shot volume. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have the secondary targets. Your favorite player in the entire world, Zach, Anthony Cirelli.
I fucking love Anthony Cirelli. Did you know that, Alan? I'd imagine you did.
He's good.
I am in love with that kid. I have been for the longest time because of his game, just because of his play, man.
Dude, yeah, he is
like
one
the
of
way
those,
he plays
like,
hockey.
Every shift, 110%.
And it always sucks because, you know, now he is definitely, you know, cemented into that 2C, but he's never going to get top power play. It's just not going to happen.
No, I think he's been tried there.
You need him as a second,
but
you know,
he's too good defensively. You know, he's kind of typecast into that Selke build. I don't know that
was a Selke finalist.
Selke finalist, so he might not get the offensive
4th or something last year.
A 3rd, because I thought the other 2 were Reinhardt and Barkov.
Reinhardt surprised me. I mean, he's good, but it's just like, you know, he's not one of those not household, but like quintessential names that you kind of like plug away for defense. But had a good year, man. Give it to him. 12th in the league. I was just looking at Hagel. 12th in the league in points and had like barely any power play points. 90 points. Insane year. Love that for him. Secondary targets going to be Cirelli, Bjorkstrand, Nick Paul, Eric Chernak, Darren Radish. Anybody else you guys are liking off this team? That's kind of where I limited the list. There's
not without any sort of sample size at this point. I mean, we don't, and we'll get to it. But yeah, I feel like there is at least one spot that is kind of up for grabs.
Yeah, and that's actually, is that our next bit. The question
Probably,
marks
yeah.
and storylines. So we'll jump right into that. Who takes the right wing two? I feel like each of us kind of had this phrased differently in the notes.
Yeah.
Whoever this is going to break out because there is
Mhm.
a vacancy inside the top six. And
90 plus point Hagel, Sorelli, who we adore. Yeah.
and question mark, right? Like, but how many people can really fill that void? I feel like Bjorkstrand's got at least his hat in the ring. Consalves would be another name that could go there. Connor Geeky, I think there's some untapped potential with him. Chaffee, I don't know. You know the team better than I do, Alan. If you
I know, and that's
rank
what
those
to
guys,
me
what do you think?
Bjorkstrand seems like number one. And yeah, maybe I could see Geeky being relegated to bottom six. Yeah, it probably maybe I guess Daily Faceoff has Chaffee there. I think at the moment. So
Consalves there.
Or Gonsalves. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe that changed. Yeah, I would say Bjorkstrand, Gonsalves. And I feel
That's
like
who
Geeky,
I think it's between, personally.
Yeah. Those would be the two names. The way that they deploy Chaffee on the power play unit too, that leads me to believe that they kind of see him as an offensive guy. So I wonder, I feel like it's going to be rotating all year. So to say that it's going to be one guy for the whole year, I guarantee all four of the names mentioned, even Geeky, is going to get a look inside that top six at some point. So we'll see. It'll be good for Streben, right? We'll be able to talk about
Exactly.
a different streamer. Brandon Hagel,
Looking at
boys.
who has that right spot?
I want to know the likelihood. Brandon Hagel, let's put 85 points over under. I feel like that's a pretty conservative line for a beat, repeat, or if he's going to bust. Is he going to beat 85 points? Is he going to repeat what he did last year, which I guess also beats it? So maybe set the line at 90 points. But what do you think? Beat, repeat, or bust?
See, I take the over on 85, but the under on 90. I feel like it's really up to how much of that power play win he gets. Yeah,
that's a tight window, Al. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to say that he's gonna repeat, but you gotta think, 90 points is a lot of points.
Right.
The one positive that he definitely does have going for him is the fact that, in the last 2 years that he's been, let's just look back in the past 3 years that he's been on Tampa. He went from 64 points to 75 points to 90 points. So it's been a steady progression with no drop in shooting percentage. Last year he took a lot more shots than he had the prior 2 years. So if he continues to do that, you would have to think that there's going to be good things. Each of those years he played 81 games, 82 games, and 82 games. So, I think it definitely all clear. As always, it's going to, really kind of heavily favor the healthy. If he stays healthy, you got to think he can do it. But it's 90 points, a lot of points. It's hard for me to really kind of dip my finger into that.
It's a good neighborhood, I think, for him because 12 of those 90 points were power play points. You put him on a power play with Kucherov, if it's just the two of them versus 4 people on the other team. If it's just Hagel and Kucherov out there, I got him for 90 points.
See, and that kind of worked in the regular season, but I don't think Hagel is enough of a real threat because you look at the series against Florida, they just stuck 2 guys on Kucherov and you just completely neutralized that unit.
But if you have another option, right? Like Mitchell Chaffee, who the fuck is that? Nobody knows who that is. So they're like, if the puck goes over there, you're just keeping the 2 guys on Kucherov where you might shift the box or kind of widen the diamond a little bit when you're on the PK. If you have somebody like Hagel who just put up 90 points, maybe they view him a little bit better.
I think that'll be one of the question marks.
I'm sure you remember from that series, there was times in those games where Hagel legit looked like the best player on the ice. It was wild.
He was often.
Just got to watch those elbows.
Oh, he's looking good, man. Averaged over 20 minutes of time on ice last year. So points go up pretty much in tandem with the time on ice per game. Points per 60 also going up. So we're seeing some real growth.
And it was that big jump in power play percentage too.
Where did it go? This most recent
Is
year,
it
I've got natural
58?
stat trick open.
Oh, yeah, Frozen Tools. Yeah, it's 58.1.
Yep, and I mean he only put up 12 power play points, so you get him on like a consistent power play one roll with, like 40-point Kucherov, 40 power play point Kucherov. That's you're gonna get easily over point per game. 85 is an easy over. 90 it does start to get a little like tricky, but you look at all the trajectories. Time on ice, that's probably topped out, right? Points per 60 is always going up. Point production has been going up. Even if there's regression at even strength, if you can wash it out with the power play points, I still like him per 90. I think we can get there. I think we can do it, boys.
Oh no, I see the road. Yeah.
Kucherov continuing that right wing dominance. I think the only thing holding him back is health. He's been pretty healthy since that one really pretty terrible year where he went down. But this is, he's given us some good times. I think as long as he plays 75 or more, he's going to be the right wing one by year end. Like Pasta, like you said, Marner is going to be up there. I'm trying to think of who else. Maybe depending on, like, Ranton used to be in this conversation, but I don't know how I like him in Dallas.
Yeah.
As like a top 5 right wing threat, probably top 5, but I mean, definitely not competing with Kucherov. But I like that Marner. That was a name I hadn't thought of. But I do like him against Eichel, with Eichel. This one's you, Al Blashill.
Yeah. So within the fan base, yeah, Jeff Blashill was our scapegoat for why does our defense suck so much now? Even though, like, going into the playoffs, like, our 5v5 was one of the best in the league. So yeah, we'll actually see if Blashill was like he deserved that blame, or if it was the huge loss of depth from after the back-to-back cups.
Yeah. I mean, Vazzy did pretty good last year too. It looked like he came back to form, and there was a mock I got Vazzy, I think pick 60 or something. Like it was like the 6th round or something. So serious value there, as long as that ADP holds strong. This third pairing, man, you got some thoughts on that? It seems like
Radish and Lilleberg. Oof, yeah. So we really need one of these seven defensemen like Crozier, those guys, to kind of hopefully make a spot, or we have any injuries, it's going to get real shallow real quick.
I have never heard of Emil Lilleberg, so yeah, that man, why did you guys let Perbix go? He was the perfect third pairing guy. Money had to be money. Yeah. All right, moving on from question marks and storylines, let's talk our breakout, regression, and value picks. I'll start off. I think breakout, we're going to get Brandon Hagel, but he's also my regression candidate. So I have him pretty much just treading water in the 90-point range. I think he can break 90, depending on how well he does on the power play, because I do think he gets it. I think he keeps it, depending on whether or not Cooper gets a little frisky with the units again this year.
For me, I have
Agreed.
Gonsalves here, and that's if and only if he can crack into that top 6, like we talked about. That kind of that spot is kind of open, up for grabs, if you will. I personally would probably put Bjorkstrand there, but at the same time, I'd also love to see Geeky in the top 6. I really would, but Gonsalves is definitely high on their, prospect chart. So I think that they're going to give him some more ice time this year. And, I think if he gets the ice time, he could definitely make something of it.
Feels like whatever name winds up as right wing 2 is going to break out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, agreed. And that's why I have like a Bjorkstrand. And I would say even if he doesn't cement that right wing 2 spot, his quality alignments are probably way better than he was playing with in Seattle. So however slight a breakout, he could break out compared to what he was doing in Seattle.
Regression, Zach, it seemed like you agreed Hagel might be the candidate, and Alan, you've got Cirelli here as well.
Yeah, I that was his first season doing something like that, and I think, let me look at my notes, I think his shooting percentage was just a smidge too high for him. It seems like he's a higher efficiency converter, but yeah, he hasn't done it before, so it's hard for me to say he does it again.
Yeah,
You make it seem like his shooting percentage was something crazy.
No,
This
he was
is a
on
man with a
tear for the first half.
Yeah, but he
was
has
on
a
a
but he
90
has a
point pace, man.
14% shooting percentage for his entire career. He had a 16.9 last year.
Do the first half of the season.
I get that,
Yeah.
but we're looking at full seasons here.
Value sleeper is
Well,
where
I want to throw some water on your,
keep him
Anthony
dry.
Cirelli
Keep him
burn
dry.
down.
Wow.
Not burned down, just 50 within 5
gotta stick up
points.
for my man,
I'm not saying
right?
he completely falls off a cliff and is not fantasy relevant, but I just don't.
It's also not his. That's not his role.
Yeah.
To be offensive, he
No,
is
but I
the
think he
two-way
could
guy,
break 60 points. I do. I think he could break 60.
He had a really strong first half. Andre Vasilevsky is my value pick here, and that's just given the ADP data that I've seen through our mocks right now, and the 5-hole leagues are pretty favorable towards goalies compared to Kukop and other scorings that are widely accepted out there. Our goalies, I think Hellebuck was the number one player overall last year, even more so than McDavid. So you take those kind of chances on a goalie, you can be rewarded, but you can also get goalied. So where I was getting Vasilevsky in the 6th round, I feel like that's a pretty safe place to take that risk. The other guys that you're talking about in the 6th round, I don't know. Seems like a good place to bet, right?
Remember back in the day when he was just the auto number one goalie, just every single year?
Yep.
Good days.
But then again, let's be honest. Yo-Yo isn't exactly stealing any starts from him, huh?
No, but we just said, he's
just
15 back-to-back. So what do we see? 20 starts from JoJo maybe this season?
So his ADP in our league
Yo-Yo. I like Yo-Yo better. I think Yo-Yo.
34, which is wild.
And that man is, he's the new Arby's manager, dude. He's
the what?
Roast beef sandwiches.
He's the roast beef sandwiches, dude. That man loves roast beef sandwiches.
Dude, he had such a bad year. So that just
really did. He had
how much value?
An under 40% quality start percentage, if I do recall. Fucking atrocious, abhorrent, if you will.
And they got the second most back-to-backs. I think it was. He was 2nd or 4th.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Wasn't even a number. Yeah. So I got him at 55. Vasilevsky, that is, but he also went 14 in one of our points leagues, but he's mostly going around 40-ish in all our leagues. So you can get him in the 3rd round. It seems like I got him at a pretty sweet discount, 55, but I don't know. The ADP right in the 3rd round, I think I might pass. It was just too hard to pass up on him in like the 5th or 6th round there.
Let's see. Jonas Johansson, 18 games started, 5 roast beef sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's
I got his stats are right here, man. 895 save percentage. Played in 19 games, so started 18. Vazzy played 63, had much better stats across the board. Plus 12 goals saved above average, 2.18 goals allowed, 0.921 save percentage. Those are fairly elite numbers from an elite goaltender like that. I'm predicting another 80-20 kind of split.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's easy. We have
and
a
that's
true
only
volume
they
starter.
can't play him every fucking day.
He would. Vazzy himself would play every game if he could, and Cooper would play him every game if he could. You just can't.
You're gonna burn
I don't
out.
blame him.
That's easy peasy, man.
Can we stick with Yo-Yo? Can we agree on Yo-Yo?
Yo-Yo.
I don't know that I'm gonna. That's not gonna. I don't know if I can do it.
His name is Jonas Johansson. It's not Jonas Johansson. It's Jonas.
His name is Jonas.
No, it is. He is not.
Not a Weezer fan. Okay, fine.
Thanks for all you've shown us.
Fine. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for the Tampa Bay Lightning here as we move into the Boston Bruins. Last place in the Atlantic, 28th in the NHL, 33, 39, and 10 as a team. Goals for, they were 28th in the NHL. Goals allowed, they allowed the 7th most. Power play was 29th. It's just a bunch of different ways to say they did not have a good year.
They were wicked shitty, is what they were.
Wicked shitty. This upcoming year, they have the fewest off nights in the NHL, and their back-to-backs is 4th fewest. So the outlook here is not awesome. It feels like Boston is, and when I say top-heavy, I kind of just mean Pasternak. Maybe, McAvoy seems fine as a draft option, but I don't see, there's no one that I would target. Swayman's been going in like the last round, and for good reason. This is not a good team.
That's a steal, though. Swayman in the last round, Jesus.
Yeah,
right.
What a fucking steal! That would be the steal of the draft.
Pretty sure I have him as my value pick, and it's
and I
based on
hate the Bruins. I think I did too.
Yeah,
did I?
Yeah, I mean it's tough cheese. Off-season changes. I really, really dig what they did. They added a bunch into what should be a bottom 6, but with the vacancies that Boston has right now, there's going to be some top 6 availability. I think guys like Arvidsson's going to get a look in the top 6. Tanner Jeannot as well. Sean Corrali is your, perfect typecast bottom 6er. Mikey Esamont. You would know the most about him. He was a former Tampa Bay Lightning. Jordan Harris, Matej Blumel, Alex Steeves, Victor Soderstrom, Luke Kavalin, and Jonathan Asperat. Haven't heard of him. I don't think we're gonna hear of him this year. Those last Victor Soderstrom, I remember from Arizona. But anyway, subtractions. Cole Koepke, that one surprised me because he was a hot commodity in like the first few weeks. You remember how like crazy that 4th line was doing in Boston at the beginning of the last year? Like Cole Koepke was the points leader on the team for longer than really should have happened. But they've re-signed Morgan Geekie, Mason Lowry, John Beecher, Murat Kushnedinov, Henry Jokiharju, Patrick Brown, Riley Tuft, Georgi Merkulov, Michael DiPietro. Why is that the name that I tripped over? Are you kidding me? I just said Jokiharju, Kushnedinov, Merkulov, and it was DiPietro that gets me. And Michael Callahan is the last name that they re-signed. Boys, what do you think about the top targets? Are we including Jeremy Swayman and Elias Lindholm into the top targets, or is it Pasternak and McAvoy?
I mean, if there are top targets, I definitely am. I mean, Elias Lindholm is gonna be the 1C.
I mean, if Swayman's going last round, is that really a top target though?
Yeah.
I don't think that he should go in the last round though. Like,
no,
I don't
me
think
either.
that. I don't. That's the whole thing. Like, I get it. If you're getting him in the last round, that is fucking value above all value. Like, you can't afford not to. You can't afford not to do it. But this is his last year was his first season below 900, and not even below 900, below 914 before this was his lowest save percentage. Like, that's crazy. And yeah, he had a bad season last year. That's because he had a bad team in front of him and a defense that couldn't stop shit. Now, you have to hope that they're going to be better, but I don't put that all on Swayman, and he's definitely going to be the number 1.
How much, agreed totally, but how much of Swayman's overall season performance do you think was due to the fact that he missed training camp and was in that the contract holdout and things like that? Like, it's just as a goalie, right? The psychological aspect of being a goalie, your routines, and yes, on a game by game routine basis. But I also figured that they probably have like year-long routines too. Like, it just didn't feel like a regular season to him. Didn't have the training camp, didn't have the regular routine. Psychologically, he might not have like eased into the season as he's used to. Like, what I'm getting at here is, what's the likelihood of a better season for Swayman this year with a full training camp?
Oh,
that was going to be my
better season than last season. Exponential.
So yeah, I'm taking the bounce back on Swayman for sure.
All right, I'll leave that one to the storyline.
On top of the fact that, think about it, you're going to have a Mason Lowry that has another year under his belt. You have Jokiharju, Zaddy Daddy, who's still out there, going to be kicking ass and taking names.
Was Lowry, was he one of the guys that they picked instead of Konechny, Barzell, and like who was the other one that they could have had? You remember that year that they had 3 picks in a row and they flopped on I
No,
think all
no.
3?
I don't think that Lowry is going to
Mm.
be a bad defenseman, though.
No, I mean, just
Does
might
he
not
need to
be.
get, need to get more time under his belt? Absolutely.
I
But
think
like,
they're- yeah.
I can see it happening.
All right. I also had Elias Lindholm in the top targets. And what I mean by top targets is not we're targeting them at the top of the draft. It's just from this team. If we are targeting anybody, these are the names. So I'm not telling anybody out there, go get Lindholm in the 10th round or anything like that. But figured he was a name worth bringing up. Secondary targets, Lindholm kind of fits into this group here too. But we've got Arvidsson, Kiki, Zaka, Middlestat, and Lowry. Middlestat I have here because I kind of see him winding up on a power play unit just based on lack of other people to put on a power play unit. Let's talk locks for the power play units. Pasternak, McAvoy, probably power play 1 locks.
Yeah.
We've seen Lindholm, we've seen Zaka, both on power play 1. So I don't know like how locky Lindholm is, but what do you guys think? Which names are most likely to be on the power play?
I'm gonna
1
say
there?
follow the money. I feel like Lindholm is gonna get that chance.
Fair, yeah.
Always a smart move, Alan. Always
dig
a
it.
smart move to follow the money.
What are the expectations with the Bruins this year? Like, obviously, they're not like cup bound or
No.
fighting for the cup, but are they going for the playoffs? Or having just gotten James Hagen's done pretty well for themselves at the draft, do you think they're going McKenna? You think they're going to tank it?
No, we all know
No, I
it's
don't
going.
think
He's
so.
going to the Penguins. Come on.
Fuck! Don't
Come
say
on.
it, man.
Come on.
You cannot breathe that into existence.
We've all
I don't
been
have to
saying this
breathe it.
entire time. You know it's going to happen, TJ. Just so
Yeah, we
this
got-
way,
we got
you
the script.
You can't be disappointed. You know what's going to happen.
Penguins from the ropes.
Yeah, we got the script. They sent it to us last
Like
week.
the Penguins could win the cup this
Not
year,
good.
and they're
We'll
getting
still
McKenna
get
next year.
McKenna. Yeah, they'll just
Yeah.
fall ass backwards into a first round pick or something. Sucks.
Man,
Yeah,
Yeah.
barring injury, Pasta and McAvoy are probably the only true locks kind
Yeah.
of season long.
I like we were talking before. I think before we went on air, right, Al? Like
Probably.
Middlestat being on the top power
Yes.
play here.
Okay.
I dig it. We were talking Andrei Svechnikov in the Discord today, and I found out that over the last 3 years, Casey Middlestat has more points than Andrei Svechnikov. So when I was done throwing up, I came back to the chat and we started talking about it, and now I feel a little bit better about Casey Middlestat being on the top power play. And like that makes him a little bit interesting. I think he could be a top 6 guy.
A
in
good
the top power play.
stream.
I'm gonna throw up again, guys. I'm sorry. Ugh. God, somebody stop me.
It's hard to believe when you say it out loud, but
Yeah.
then you think about it. It's much more easily believable.
Well, yeah. I mean,
When you look at the
Svetch is going to
roster.
have a great year there this year. Svetch is going to have a bounce back year. Heard it here.
is there a fucking echo in here, man? It's like an 8-year echo. Yeah. Power play 2 is probably going to be, whichever guys aren't locked onto that top power play. Arvidsson's name's going to be in there. Zaka, Jano, maybe Montage Blumel, Lowry. Blumel's the name that DFO likes, but I think there's not good names. I like Esamont as a offensive guy. Like, he is not going to get those looks when he was in Tampa. But, if they're going to they need people to play, right? You need bodies. He's a body. Maybe they go Fraser Minton,
for
right?
you guys. I got a question for you guys. Why do you like Middlestat on that top line power play over Lindholm? Lindholm,
What?
I mean, why not both?
Way better face-off percentage. Like
So, okay.
ridiculous, crazy better.
I did not format these as like Lindholm's going to be taking the face-offs. I just put the names out. So this is not like how the actual, like, Kiki's not going to be on the left wall. Lindholm's not the net front face-off guy. Pasta, I think he is in the right circle. But is that what you mean? Like, why don't I have Middlestat with Pasta and Geeky and Lindholm on the point?
Yeah, I just think that
Yeah.
Lindholm's going to be power play 1. I want him out there taking fucking face-offs on the power play so that we can get into our set
Do you see this?
immediately.
I have him there. I
Yeah.
think Lindholm's going to be there.
I thought you guys were talking about having Middlestat on the 1P.
Why not both?
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
must have
both.
misheard you.
No, I get the slide up here. It's Lindholm and Middlestat on the top power play for me.
Oh, okay.
That's how I
Yeah,
see
I'm
it.
sorry. I misheard you. Yeah, I want Lindholm taking those face-offs.
I think Minton could get power play 2 minutes too. Like that was a pretty big get for them last year from Toronto. So
Lindholm
I
on
wonder.
the first
Yeah.
and second power play?
Do I?
Oh.
There's
Yeah.
a Hampus Lindholm, my guy.
Oh, so how many fucking? So you got 2. Okay, so you have 2 defensemen on the second power play.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
haven't we
you're
talked
looking at
about
the
this
notes.
before. Like
you're looking at the
sometimes you do 2D because your
I
first
thought-
unit burns most of the clock, and then
Yeah,
you just
and then
got to
you're
get ready
probably-
to go back to 5-on-5.
Yep, you're probably going to be playing defense. Your power play 2 is going to be your even strength unit. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I was looking at the notes. They were making me
Yeah,
upset.
I think I changed it here.
Okay, yeah, they were
Between the
upsetting me.
slides and whatnot. All right. Question marks. This is where we're going to be talking about the Swayman rebound and having a full camp and things like that. Alan, what are your thoughts on?
Yeah,
But-
no, you even see it with skaters. I feel like not getting that camp, even though yes, sure, you deserve to get paid, do what you got to do. Yeah, I feel like he'll be better. Will we be singing praises how he was a top 5 goalie this season?
Oof,
Maybe not, but
under. I'll
it
take
can't
the
be
under.
any worse than what he did last year.
Don't tempt him. He might.
I know.
Zach, what do you think, man? Swayman for the
I've already
Vezina?
stated that I think he is definitely. I don't think he's going to be Vezina. I mean, you definitely need to be on a better team to be a Vezina candidate. But I do think that the defense is going to be better. Like I said, you have Zadorov out there. Dude is we all know this. He is a category monster. He's out there doing it all. He's going to be blocking shots, hitting motherfuckers. I do. I think that Swayman's going to have a bounce back year. And, there's no way that he has a worse year than he did last year. I'd be damn surprised. Surprised. Did you want to make a bet on that? We can do an over-under on that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly because, like I said, I think the routine matters to goalies as much as it does on game day as it does during the entire season. So just missing that part of the season probably didn't feel like a real season to him. I don't know. Maybe not like a real season, but it just didn't feel normal, I guess is what I'm getting at. So to see him come back with a full, preseason, not having a contract, bullshit hanging over his head. So
I do think, however, that McAvoy being healthy is going to, be important. Not that he's been the most healthy; he's been the healthiest player throughout his entire career.
Yeah, man.
But he missed, the most games he's ever missed last year, and I think that definitely played a part.
For me, coping with the Marchand vacancy is the biggest question mark around the Boston Bruins this year. It looks like they're going to be doing kind of like by committee, right? They got a bunch of these kind of like lower level guys. Arvidsson is going to be one of them, and just like a ton of bullshit guys, et cetera, who are going to be filling in, trying to get it done.
Chino is a bottom sixer all freaking
Yeah,
day.
no, he's
Don't say that name out loud like that.
His rookie year Nashville is the outlier.
I want that.
Which
I'm
sucks.
trying to speak that into
That ain't
existence.
gonna happen.
But yeah, that's where I'm at. How bad will it get for Boston? So going back to, are they looking to collect assets as trade deadline looked for them? Trading guys like Brandon Carlo, Brad Marchand, starting to collect picks and collect prospects, things like that. So I wonder if they are just kind of happy with a rebuild. Is it going to get worse? It's probably going to get worse. Yeah. Breakout. I kind of want to change mine right now because I'm looking at Victor Arvidsson. shots on goal per game over the last 3 years, he is tied with Nikolai Ehlers. I think
Mm.
Hey
there's
man, that's
going
why
to
I have my
be
value guy.
yes, and you have convinced me a little bit. I like Morgan Geekie. I like his deployment. But I think Arvidsson, like based on the availability of time on ice in Boston, just based on necessity, like they don't have a ton of other players, but 2.75 shots per game over the last 3 years, tied with Nikolai Ehlers. Much less time on ice per game, 400 less total skated minutes than Nikolai Ehlers. Still was able to put up the same amount of shots per game. Nico Hischier is in that category, still tied. Rasmus Dahlin, all with 2.75. Right below Aho, Reinhardt. So get somebody like Arvidsson, alongside Pasternak, even if he winds up taking that spot from Geekie. I think it could be a fun year for Arvi. So keep an eye out. I'm not saying go into your draft with him as like kind of bookmarked at the end, but if he starts getting consistent top 6 and maybe even top power play time, I'd be picking him up because I don't know if he's gonna. He'll probably be on the waiver wire after the draft.
I can see that, but he's definitely somewhat proven it before. When he was on the Kings, he was pretty darn good. Even though I hate talking about Arvidsson because every time people find out that I like him, they're like, "Oh, I'm going to offer Arvidsson for McKinnon. That's a good trade. Come on, Zach, take it."
What about you, Al?
Yeah, I'm still Geeky if he holds that, but I see what you're saying about Arvidsson. There is that path there,
and he's a good shooter, man. I'm all about that.
And I think it was in your notes, TJ, that just like, yeah, you just didn't get one of you had like he just didn't get a good shake in Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of that was Zach that had that one for the value sleeper candidate. So if you want to break into your value here on RV, let me hear it.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, I did say that I did kind of think that he kind of got screwed a little bit in Edmonton, but as far as I'm concerned, it's the fact that he has somewhat proven it before. He's much more of a proven commodity as opposed to like a Morgan Geekie. Now I'm definitely kind of rooting for Geekie in this situation.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him more, but I feel like I put RV in the sleeper candidate range as opposed to the breakout candidate range because I think that he is one of those guys. Not that Morgan Geekie will be drafted either, but I'm always looking for those guys that you can get at a real discount either at the end of the draft or undrafted, and a guy that you can pick up and you might have to literally hold. So I could see that happening. Now, is he a hold for all year? Probably not, but I guarantee you he's going to go on a streak. I guarantee you he's going to go on a streak.
We're going to be talking about it.
Where, 100%. Where
I wonder if he could,
4 or 5 games, you can't drop him.
I wonder if he could do, how Nyes was last year. I wonder if he could maybe like, in a perfect scenario, I'm talking ceiling for where I see his potential like breakout or value or whatever. I could see him like hitting that 60-ish point range as a ceiling.
Yeah, I like
now
it.
That's not what I'm projecting him for.
I would take the under on 65 though.
Absolutely. I would even take the under on 60. So I'm saying like the if you're doing mean, median, mode, whatever, and like I think the most likely outcome is probably 45, 50. But I think you top out around 60, and that could be value. That's something worth holding in 12-team leagues. So I don't hate it. For me, that value sleeper is going to be Swayman. He's going to be seeing a shit ton of games.
Really, do you think they'll use him as a volume starter?
They did last year. I got the goalie situation here, ready to rock. And last year, Swayman saw 58 to Korpisalo's 27. So it was a 65-35 for Swayman. I think they kind of keep that going. I know we were thinking like 55-45, 60-40, but man, I do think that, like you said, follow the money. And Swayman's getting a lot of that. Well, Corpy is too, but, or I forget what they signed him for. I remember Corpy was getting paid in Ottawa. Maybe that contract's gone, or maybe they're retaining or something. But I want to go to something Muck here in the chat saying is that Lowry is a deep sleeper. And I don't disagree. because at first I was like, Lowry was on that top power play for a long time, but it coincided with McAvoy's injury.
Yeah, they
So,
had to.
yeah, they had to, and but I do think he's got the build for it. And what if they Brent Burns McAvoy? I'm not saying it's likely, but what if they do? What if they give him all the important minutes defensively, and then just put some schmuck like Lowry out on the power play? It's an option. So deep sleeper, yeah, that's one you got to keep your ear to the ground for. Again, maybe not likely, but possible for sure. Buffalo Sabres. Oh, smoke break time, right? I could just
Yeah,
bounce
this is
out
going to be
and let the guys take
quick
care of it.
breeze through here.
Yeah, they were 7th in the Atlantic, 26th in the NHL, 36, 39, and 7, 10th in the NHL in goals for per game played. I think I remember writing they were tied with Edmonton or they beat Edmonton in goals for per game. It was surprising either way, more than Edmonton goals for per game. Problem is their goals allowed was tied for the third most. They were tied with Pittsburgh. Their power play was 24th in the league. Off nights this year, they're middle of the pack. They have 28. Back-to-backs, they are tied for 4th. Buffalo, not going to be good again. Moving on? No.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll still deep dive them here, guys. Off-season changes for this team. They biggest one is that they got rid of JJ Peterka. He's in Utah now. They added Justin Danforth, Josh Doan, Michael Kesselring, both as part of that JJ Peterka trade. Alex Lyon kind of pushes Devin Levi down, which I think is my storyline. So that'll be a fun one to hash out for 82 games. The three-headed goalie monster, depending on how they do it. Connor Timmins, Zach Jones, big fan of that pick. Carson Meyer, Mason Gearson, Isaac Beliveau, maybe that's a typo. Zach Metza, Riley Fiddler. Yeah. Subtractions: JJ Peterka, Sam Lafferty, Connor Clifton, Jacob Bernard Docker, Lucas Rosick, Eric Brandstrom, Cal Clegg. They have re-signed Ryan McLeod, Jack Quinn, Tyson Kozak, Ryan Johnson, and Jack Rathbone. Not like a big wholesale changes, but that JJ Peterka one is definitely the one that headlines this one. Top targets for this team. Where do you guys draw the line? Is Josh Norris a top target? Is he the best available option if you fade centers? Is Alex Tuck amongst the names? I think he should be. But Rasmus Dahlin is going to headline the Buffalo Sabres, I think, by ADP. Tage Thompson probably not far behind him. And that's where you're going to have a big gap between those two and then Alex Tuck. And then again, Josh Norris.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Josh Norris is in that mix, but I feel like I'm higher on Josh Norris than 98% of the world. I understand he is definitely injury prone, and I understand
his mom and dad.
I was about to say, no, I'm in that 2% too.
I do. I like Josh Norris. I always have.
Got a glass shoulder,
I really
man.
think that he should be on the top line. If they don't have him on the top line, I'd be damn surprised. But they should.
No, I'm with you, man. Who they have? Yuri Kulich was
for a lot of. Well, I think it was Yuri Kulich until the Cousins trade, and then they had Norris up there until he inevitably hurt himself.
So I'm gonna check the on FHFhockey.com because I want to see. So DFO has it like how it gets written out, but on 5hole.com we have like by actual. What do you call it? By time on ice. So Josh Norris might have been the de facto 1C, but on paper, he's the 2C. So I wonder. I'm going to check it out. Secondary targets. You guys want to break this one down? I'm going to fuck around with this, try to find out where Josh Norris was.
Fair enough. So we have UPL here, Quebec Luukkonen, Owen Power, and Jason Zucker. Is there anybody else that you're really even putting there? I do like UPL. I think I even talk about him later in there. And I like Owen Power. I don't know how I feel about Jason Zucker though. You, Alan?
I mean, if he gets that top power play, it's a nice stream. But does he keep it all year? Is he actually good on it? Yeah. I would almost wondering if like Zach Benson should be on here too.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I like that. Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
Honestly, I almost like Zach Benson on that top power play as opposed to Zucker. Just to try it out.
Right.
Try
And I mean,
all
especially if
and he has a great name.
later in the season they're not playing for anything. Why not?
They're not playing for anything at the beginning of the season. Just put the fucking boy up there.
No, they always win the cup. They're always one of
Let
the
the
teams that
boy
wins the
watch.
cup in October.
I can't figure out my own goddamn tool. I think it's broken. All right.
Ugh.
I just wanted to see if Josh Norris was
I
getting
think
more
so.
time on ice than Coolidge.
I mean, maybe for the 10 games he actually played with Buffalo. But
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Let me see. Maybe I can do last 14 and see what happens there. No, Cousins still shows up, which is strange. Anyway, sorry. I was getting distracted trying to unfuck my tool here. Projected power play units. As far as locks go, I think Thompson, Dahlin are confident locks. I have Norris as kind of like a, probably. If healthy and a probably lock. I like Alex Tuck up there. It makes sense to have him on the top power play unit. It just didn't seem like something they were doing last year. So move him up. That makes sense. And Jason Zucker could be fucking any of them, right? It could be Coolidge, it could be Benson, it could be Doan, even. It could be anybody. It could even be you guys.
Yes.
It can't be me.
All right. But I think
I go out there and get
Norris,
my ass
Thompson, Dahlin, those are
Aye.
pretty confident locks. Tuck should be up there too. And I think it's a big season for Tuck if he does get that power play, because it was a really good power play. Like they weren't bad, and they were scoring a lot at even strength too. Question marks for me is Tuck power play 1, and Devin Levi is another one. What are our expectations here? He only played 9 games last year, so it's not like he really had a claim to the throne or anything like that, but it does seem like he's the heir apparent. But
I mean, if they signed Lyon,
it just seems like such a strange
circle of
thing
life,
to do.
dude.
Such a strange thing to do. Are they going to pitch Lyon to Edmonton? Is he a trade chip? Because Levi, it seems like he's ready. It's been enough time. And UPL Levi, it seemed like the tandem they're going to ride off into the sunset with. So bringing Lyon in was just super strange for me. Didn't know what to do with that. Zach, I like your one here too.
What, for question marks?
Yeah, for question marks.
I put can Yuri Kulik build off of last year and possibly come with a top line player. Like I said earlier, I would be having Norris on that top line, and that is because you always hear me talk about faceoff percentage, and I feel like nobody kind of ever does, but it fucking means something in real hockey, and that's who I would want. I would want Josh Norris and his 54% faceoff percentage next to Tage Thompson, my guy who is out there to score goals, on top of the fact that Josh Norris is a good passer. So, yeah, I mean, I'm putting Norris there, but I think that, if I'm them, I would totally understand why they would put, try to shove Yuri Kulik into that top spot. So, if he gets the top spot, then I think he definitely could have, a head turning kind of year.
Oh man, I was freaking out. So on Dauber Frozen Tools, Coolidge says he's off roster. So I went over to Cap Wages just to see where he's at, and he was like hiding in there, but he does have a contract. So I was like, fuck, did he get not signed or something? Yeah. I mean, he's top prospect. So he better fucking get signed. But yeah, he's good. Yeah. That's my mistake. Last year, 24 points, 32-point pace over 62 games. Tom and Ice was like right in the 15s. Didn't see a ton of power play Tom and Ice, but he hit at a decent clip, almost won a game. So I wonder if he can bring that up, especially if like offensive role dips down to the second line. Maybe you're throwing the body a little bit more. I don't know. It feels like what are the other options inside the top 6? It's one combination of Norris and Coolidge. Any way you stack it, right? It's got to be.
Yeah. Peyton Krebs didn't happen.
Never happened. Yeah, that's a shame.
He just didn't. I kind of thought he.
My hopes, man.
Ooh, pardon me. I kind of thought that he was going to early in his career, and it just didn't happen.
It seems like Buffalo is a big fan of like second chances. Brandstrom, getting cut, and Peyton Krebs is another one. I'm surprised they haven't signed Zadina yet.
Mm.
Oh, a little Philip Zadina. I forgot that he was a
throwback.
freshman.
Yeah,
right?
after his
Big
stint in the
throwback.
Sharks, right? The Sharks.
All right. What do we got left on the Sabres here? We're going to talk about some
Zadina.
breakout regression value candidates here. I got Alex Tuck as a breakout. I think that power play one is as good as his, and we're going to see bigger numbers out of him as a result. My regression candidate, Jason Zucker, just don't buy it. What you did last year, don't buy it. I don't think it's going to happen again. Simple as that. No advanced stats to back it up, though I'm sure they exist, but it just seemed so strange. And my gut says I don't buy it. And now my mouth says I don't buy it either. Value sleeper, Josh Norris.
I disagree with your Tuck breakout
Well, whatever.
idea, though.
Why?
He's already broken out.
I mean,
Yeah,
well,
fair
breakout for him.
That
Yeah,
some bitch had a 79-point season already, a 67-point season last season. How is that not a breakout?
Because when you get traded to Buffalo, life resets.
I would say 70
He's
or
been
70
on Buffalo for 4 seasons already.
He's gonna break
This
out
isn't a new
again.
thing.
He's gonna find another level.
Oh my god!
Another level.
Oh
Another
my
level.
god!
There.
A
my
breakout
value-
for over 80 points. I'll take the fucking under.
Value sleeper is Josh Norris. If you fade C, he's a really good option. You just got to watch out for the shoulder because he might sit down for 30 games. Yeah.
I'm taking UPL here for sleeper or not so much sleeper, but value. Just
Yeah.
because of where he'll be drafted. I think he
Well,
will
yeah.
have a better season as opposed to where he is drafted.
I would say, yeah, in rate stats leagues, yes, but not if you need wins and like a decent save percentage. But yeah, he's gonna face a lot of puck.
He'll be good quantity leagues.
There we
Quality
go.
leagues.
There we go.
Yeah. That's the quality he won't have.
And if you look at his stuff, I feel like he has an every other kind of career. Like 1 year he's good, the next year he's down. This year happens to be on the, if it keeps on going on that curve, he's gonna be good this year.
Goalie situation for this team, man, with 3 goalies, because I am kind of like counting Levi amongst them. I think it's just going to be a hot hand tandem. UPL and Lyon are obviously going to be kind of like the main cast, but I think Levi gets a bunch of looks. It's going to be annoying. He's just going to pop up randomly. I don't remember if he has a 2-way contract or not. I can check cap wages real quick on that. But nobody really had a good season except for James Reimer. And that's only relative to the other goalies that were on Buffalo. 899 save percentage is best on the team. Brutal, but a positive goal saved above average and a goals allowed average under 3. So Reimer's not there anymore.
Devin Levi was bad in the games he played last year.
He was, so
Bad,
maybe he's not ready.
Bad.
Yeah, waivers exempt, so he'll be good. We're going to see a lot of him. Don't worry about that. All right, let's move on to the Toronto Maple Leafs because this is where we cap off the episode. They were first in the Atlantic. This was very much by design, leaving them towards the end because I was really trying to hook the Maple Leafs fans in for the entire hour. First in the Atlantic, fourth in the NHL, 52, 26, and 4. Goals for per game, they were 7th in the NHL. Goals allowed, they had the 8th best. Power play was 9th best in the NHL, so top 10 in most everything. Off nights, they are tied for 12th towards the bottom of the team list, and back-to-backs, they're tied for 2nd, which only just makes their goalie situation even more confusing because Woll makes more money, but Stolarz has better numbers. So, yeah, what are you going to do there? Off-season changes, big
about it.
shake-up, right? Nicholas Waugh, Matthias Michelli, Dakota Joshua, Henry Thrun, Michael misspelled Pizzetta, Travis Boyd misspelled. I must have been tired. Vinny Lettieri misspelled. I probably did this on mobile too. Shit. Benoit Olivier Gruel. Subtractions, Midge Marner. That's the big one. That's going to be our storylines. That's going to be our talking points. Those are going to be the question marks. Mitch Marner's gone. Pontus Holmberg, Ryan Reeves, also Alex Steves, Matt Murray, Nick Epertzeze, and they have re-signed John Tavares, very team-friendly contract. Matthew Nyes, love that contract as well. Steven Lorentz, Nicky Bobby, Nick Robertson, and Dakota Mermis are the re-signed names for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, top targets, boys. Austin Matthews at the top, William Nylander right behind him. Big gap, pretty big gap. And then Tavares, where are we feeling on that one? Decent.
I'm calling for Tavares to regress. I don't know. Maybe it'd be a gap, but I'd see Tavares Nyes kind of the same tier.
71 is his ADP in our leagues, and Willie is.
He still had 74 points last year.
Rounds. Yeah,
that shooting percentage was high.
So somebody's going to regress for sure, and I think that'll be. We're going to talk about it with the Marner replacements and things like that. Other top targets on this team, I think Matthew Nyes is going to find himself in that conversation. Morgan Riley, I have him here if and only if they don't go 5 forward power play, which I think they can't now that Marner's gone. He played
because then they technically play Marner as the defenseman.
Yeah. So I think Morgan Riley is going to be. He'll probably be my value.
He was good at that spot too.
Anthony Stolars is the last top target off this team.
I hate that.
Yeah. Secondary targets, Matthias Michelli. It's just a bunch of like breakout candidates. Bobby McCann I threw in here too because I think he and Michelli kind of Michelli's going to get it out of the gate in my opinion, but Bobby McMahon, I think if things don't work out with Michelli, then McMahon's going to be the next man up to ride sidecar with Matthews. Joseph Woll, just to get the other 45% of games or whatever, and OEL, the biggest question mark in the world for even as a secondary target.
OEL has been a question mark for 30 years.
He had like 19 good games in Florida and 1 good season in Arizona, and the rest has just been like some level of Andrei Svechnikov waiting for it to happen again. Timo Meier.
I'm going to go back to calling him Owen Ekman Larson.
Owen?
Instead of
do it. Yeah.
Instead of Oliver Ekman Larson.
It worked back in like 2016 or whatever.
Yeah, that's actually when he was good.
Power play units, man. Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, those are our locks for the power play one. I think Nyes is going to be up there too, but it's just like he's... Yeah, I should have put him in bold. He's a lock too. And Riley, I don't think they have the
I don't know.
manpower for a 5.
I wonder if OEL gets a look at some point. I mean, they did it in Florida for a stretch.
Man, I'm gonna throw up again. Threw up about Svechnikov. OEL, man, not ready.
It's the Leafs. You got to throw out the hot takes to make sure everyone's still.
That is spicy.
Yeah,
that is
gotta be.
That is some talkies.
But I'll tell you,
talkies out here, dude.
Even when they were 4 forward, 1D, pretty reliably, like 3 years ago, Riley never really took it. You know what I mean? So OEL came in. He got a look. Who else did they bring in? And they kind of
Klingberg for 3 games.
Yeah. Just a bunch of OEL type players. So I don't know. Like that's why I don't have Riley as a lock, but I think he kind of makes the most sense there. I'm trying to find the rest of their decor. Nobody else is really.
Oh no, there's nobody else.
Yeah, there's
no other answer.
So that's the best thing in Riley's corner right now.
No other answer.
Riley and OEL. Those are the only
Someone's
two
got to
dogs
do
in the fight. Question marks, storylines. All right, we just talked about 5 forward power play with Riley, but what I want to get to, and Alan, we were talking about this, and I think you put it in the chat too. Like, do they front load the top line? Like, is it Michelli or is it William Nylander? And is that what makes John Tavares kind of regress? Because Tavares is now going to be lugging around, Bobby McMahon, Max Domi or a Nicky Bobby. Like, are those his line mates right now? Or do the Nylander Tavares, does that chemistry stay together? Can Austin Matthews, Mark Donk, Michelli, McMahon, somebody. You know what I mean? The Mark Donk from Crosby. Anybody that plays on Crosby wing is going to turn into a superstar. I think Matthew Nyes is good in his own right, not a play driver in my opinion. Matthews is going to be the straw stirring that drink. Can he buoy Michelli? Or do they need to push Nylander up there? We're going to see both in season, I think. But like, which one gets the play?
Definitely, if you're down by a goal or two, you just front load that line. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if that turns into like a permanent deployment.
Or you just play Matthews on 2 lines.
Yeah. Why not?
Come on.
Stuff.
Let's Turkish hair plugs, man. I believe.
Do you shut your fucking mouth out? That's the second time I've said those words tonight, and I will keep saying them if I have to.
I had to say it when he was talking about
bad about my boy
McKenna to the fucking Penguins, man. You're getting us all riled up over here, Al. My blood pressure.
Honestly, I think you got to keep Nylander on that second line with Tavares.
Yeah,
not because he is a quote unquote second line player.
The chemistry,
but because yes, absolutely,
Duos.
And it's proven chemistry. You got to keep it the way it is. On top of the fact that Nyes and Matthews have proven they have a level of chemistry, so you can pick and plug that third player on each line. And honestly, I think it could be Michelli. I don't think it's anyone else. Now, I do want to see Dakota Joshua get, a crack at a second line spot. I would like that. That would be cool. Then we could shove it in Raj's face.
I mean, I like that over Max Domi on the second line.
Yeah,
it could be kind of a sleeper. But don't forget, if we're all looking at Daily Faceoff right now, they don't have Nick Robertson here, who's a name that, should warrant, just finished his arbitration case, should warrant a little bit of playing time. So we'll see who gets pushed out. But that was Bobby McMahon's spot with Tavares and Nylander too. So I don't know. And Nick Waugh, can he slide to the left? Because now you have Domi, who's also a center. So you have some options, which is good for the team. I think there's plenty of versatility now. It is kind of gross. Does the team slide as a result of Marner leaving, or is this some core 4 voodoo that's being lifted right now? I'm not saying Marner was the problem, but the pressure of the core 4 is now gone. So maybe I don't know.
I mean, if Michelli is that one right wing, I don't see that as a 1-for-1.
Gamble.
That is not a 1-for-1.
It's not even close. But Michelli, I think it's game 1 as right wing 1.
Sure,
he's going to be penciled in. Whether or not he can, even treading water as a Marner replacement, it seems like a tall ask. But if you could just I don't know, keep something, just keep the puck on Matthews' stick. It could be a really big season for Matthews too, and him and Nyes too. They have to create the that's where the chemistry is going to go. So it was Matthews and Marner. Now it's going to be Matthews and Nyes. So Muck in the chat here, he's saying he's drafting Nyes in every league he can this year. I think it's a good look, good strategy. I'm going to look up his ADP in our leagues right now. Oh, misspelled it. 81.86, so really not bad.
That's not horrible. Honestly, it's a little higher than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, he's going higher in Cats leagues too. Our Cats drafts, he's going pick 70. Points leagues, he's going 86. So not bad. 7th roundish area. Yeah, I dig it there. He's a good look.
It's them hitting, boy.
But here's where it gets strange. So the neighborhood that you're drafting Nyes in is also where you're drafting Konechny, Svechnikov, Batherson, Jordan Carew, Noah Dobson, Rickard Rackle, Jacob Chikrin, Kirill Marchenko. That's where I would fit him in. And
honestly, I think the only player I'm taking over Nyes out of those players that you named is Konechny.
For sure.
Okay. Depending on needs,
you named.
I would take a swing at Chikrin.
Yeah. So I mean, if he fits your team in the 7th round, right around there, go for it. But you are going to have to pay for him this year. It seems like Nyes is not going to be a value. He's going to be. You're going to pay for it on draft day and hope that he at least returns value. Like it's not going to be positive ROI. I don't think, not in the 7th round, which is going to be tough.
You'll never know.
Yeah, Nyes does hit more, which is why his Cats ADP is a little higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stolarz Wool, is that enough to get you to the Stanley Cup final? Zach, I think this was your question here. Is it enough to get you the cup? Is it enough to get you to the cup? Is it enough to win you the cup? Stolarz looked good last year. So as long as he can stay healthy, just
you can watch some elbows.
Honestly, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't look horrible in the playoffs. He really didn't. It was the offense that let down. But man, I can't get past the thought that Anthony Stolarz isn't the answer. I can't get past the thought that Joseph Woll isn't the answer. That's just my thought. But
what do you want him to do? Go out and make like a big Jacob Markstrom New Jersey Devils kind of like,
oh yeah,
big boy signing?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I would. I would like that.
Didn't they try that with other guys?
Yeah, Peter
and ran him out of
Mrazek.
town. Yeah. No, like
Peter Mrazek.
Freddie,
what the shit?
Yeah.
They let
Freddie
Campbell
Anderson.
go.
But Freddie Anderson is always friggin' Freddie Anderson. He is fantastic in the regular season, but you play him because he's Freddie Anderson, and he ends up being your one goalie, and then he
gets hurt immediately.
Eventually just breaks down at the end of the year. And I understand that Freddie Anderson is an awesome goalie, but he breaks down at the end of the year.
Yeah, he did.
So
6 years ago,
that was the
too.
last time they had a good goalie. Who, when other than that, who? And if you say Peter Mrazek, I am walking out of this room.
No, that was just to haunt the Toronto Maple Leafs.
They got at least one half decent season out of Campbell, right? And then they ran him out of town.
Yeah, that was kind of like a Cinderella season.
Either, honestly, Woll in the games that he played last year played pretty well. It's just something in me doesn't see it for Stolarz or Woll. But that's just me, and I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong.
So I like Stolarz. It's just he should have been the 1A, and the only reason I think Woll has more games played than Stolarz is because of the injury. And Stolarz has I want to look at his season game logs, because I don't think he's ever broken 40 games. And a lot of that is because he's been a backup until he got here to Toronto. It's just, he, even as a backup, got hurt. We're familiar with Stolarz. Like, he started in Philly. Yeah. So we know.
And I think that's the thing. Yeah. I think that Anthony Stolarz would be one of the best backups in the league. You know what I mean?
He was for Bob the 1 year in Florida.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I think that he would be a really good backup.
Yeah, his 34 games
is he
this
an
year.
All-year starter? I don't know. I hope that's the thing. I'm a Toronto fan. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong, but there's something about it. I just don't see it.
If he can play 45 games, I think things look a lot different. If he can play 50, see, that's why I have this as like a 55-45, even a 50-50 seems right, because hot hand could be the way they go. But if the option is available to Berube to have Stolarz as an option for 82 games, like, how many games would he get? Right. We've never seen it. So there's no data to back it up. There's no inklings or quotes or anything that could tell us, like, if he can play 55 games, we would. So it's hard to say. It's hard to project out. But his stats were stellar. I think health is the only thing keeping him from being. This is 2 years in a row, 925, 926. Played 27 games as a backup in Florida, and then saw starting opponents in Toronto with a 926. So I think it could be there. It's just health, man. I don't know if he can stay healthy for an entire season, which is tough because he's somebody that you want to draft. Toronto Maple Leafs, 1A seems like a good target
No
on
brainer.
draft day.
You can't.
ADP 128.57. So still pretty friendly. That's 10th round. That seems great. Uri Slafkovsky, Dustin Wolf is going around him, Samuel Montembeault, UC. Jesus Christ, seeing UC Soros down here. I mean, he deserves it, but it's
Ouch,
just that's
Fall
a
from
shock.
grace.
Very big fall from grace, and again, deservedly so. All right, let's go back a slide here. We were just talking about the goalies, so we'll talk about breakout, regression, value, sleepers. I think breakout is Michelli or Nyes, and I only have Nyes here because, again, another level. I think he's going to get there. I think it's going to be another big year for Nyes. So, yes, the breakout kind of happened, but I think we get a 2.0 this year. And then Michelli, I have him here just by default because if you're playing on their line, you should collect some collateral damage, right?
I think it's got to be Nyes. I don't think Nyes had his breakout. A breakout is there's no way you can have a sub 60-point season as an offensive player and it be considered a breakout. Now he had a great year last year, but I definitely think he's going to build on that. And can I do it? I've been waiting for this.
Send it.
I've been waiting for this. The head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Oh
Yeah.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, no, I don't think that last year was a breakout. So I'm taking Nyes. He is, as far as I'm concerned, cemented into that top winger spot alongside Matthews, because who's going to take it away from him? No one. Ain't going to be Max Doby. That's for damn sure. I don't even want him in the top 6.
Yeah, that's Nyes is cemented, I think, onto the top line. So, my idea, Alan brought up duos, and I think the duo is Michelli or not Michelli, Nyes and Matthews. Yeah. And then you have Tavares and Nylander, and you just have a bunch of, third wheels, sidecar, whatever you like.
And we'll see what happens with Michelli.
Yeah.
And like I said, I personally hope to see Dakota Joshua on a line with Tavares and Nylander. I think I'd like to see I just want to see what that looks like.
Michelli is such an interesting case because there are, and you really have to cherry pick the underlying stats in order to paint a really optimistic picture for him. But it's the overlying stats that have never shown up, really. And I think he had a good year. It was Arizona, right? Put up decent numbers, and that's kind of what everybody's hoping for. And it just didn't work out in Utah. So I wonder if we get it in Toronto. We'll see. I mean, he's going to get the looks. He's going to get the minutes.
His quality of line mates goes up exponentially.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 seasons ago in Arizona, 17 goals, 40 assists in 82 games played. Decent time on ice at 16-14. If you're a top line guy with Matthews, you're going to be seeing more than 16-14. So, and even the season before that, 49 points. So pretty steady growth, and then just cratered to 18 points in 55 games for Utah. Brutal. So
but his Corsi was off the charts. Oddly enough.
Let me see. Yeah, shot attempts were pretty high up there. And shot through percentage, they did not give that available anymore. Yeah, he did all right. He's all right.
I know.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with him. But I do think he gets the spot by default. My regression candidate is also Matthew Nyes.
Mine too.
And it's because honestly, it could go either way.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen. I really hope that it doesn't. But there are, some stats that scream, hey, this might not happen.
Matthews is also my regression candidate, but it's tough because I think last year was a pretty big fall. We've seen Matthews' ADP slide and his production slide. So I wonder if he winds up, because his ADP shifted. He was like a top 3 guy. Now he's a top 5 guy, top 6. So our ADP has McDavid, McKinnon, Kucherov, Draisaitl, Matthews, then Makar. So he's still top 5. It's just he used to be top 3. So,
Yeah.
Fair enough. My value sleeper is Morgan Riley, and that's just based on the fact that I don't think they have 5 forwards they can reliably put on a power play, and somebody's got to do it. So it's either Riley or OEL, and we'll see who it winds up being.
More likely Riley.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty easy one.
I have Dakota Johnson there.
Dakota Johnson.
Or Dakota Joshua.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah,
Who?
I don't know where that.
Wow, sign.
I mean, especially
mangled
in-
some things together.
Bangs Cats leagues. Yeah, Dakota Joshua.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll sway it. I think you just really want to piss off Raj tonight.
No, I really think that. Well, number one, I think that was not a. I think
Terrible
that
trade.
was
Terrible trade.
a good trade for
Terrible
Raj.
trade.
But I really do think that he could be a guy that you pick up off of waivers, and it could work out if he gets that second line spot and it is working well. He could stay there, and it could mean good things for him. And let's be honest, he has some peripherals that definitely make it worthwhile.
Oh, yeah.
Like, boy hits. He hits like a motherfucker.
He don't stop. That'll be a good one. He's the Ryan Reeves replacement.
That's a low bar.
Better. Yeah. All right, guys. That's going to be it for the part 1 of the Atlantic. We've got the remaining 4 teams of the Atlantic coming at you in the next episode. We hope to see you guys for that one. Thanks for hanging out with this one. We've got the Twitter, the YouTube, the Discord. Check out all that kind of stuff if you like it.